If I try and please people, I will not be a servant of Christ. Where do you seek your validation? Validation is a deep need to feel approved, worthy, accepted, and valued. I have at least a dozen areas in my life where I could, and sadly sometimes do, seek validation. I mistakenly find my soul wandering into trying to find my value in something other than Jesus. This could be through my wife, my kids, my job, my image, my online presence and following, my reputation, my approval for others. There are a million ways that people often seek validation. And I think everyone struggles with this to some degree. In fact, I was listening to a guy talk about when he catches up with people, oftentimes they want to give him an update on the things that are going on in his life, and they start bragging on their wife, their job, their kids, things like that. And he found something out about himself that I thought was really interesting. He found that he naturally wanted to one-up whoever he was with. If his kids did this sports thing, he would then, in an attempt to relate to the person, share what his kids did and start bragging about the things that he had helped his kids to achieve. But he has since flipped the script to, instead of bragging about the things that he's done, he actually shares a weakness or a little confession. Like, man, I really struggle with this thing with my kids. And one of the things that he discovered was that it actually disarms the other person. When someone is seeking validation in an area other than the Lord, it often sparks that same desire in other people. But when we confess and share some of our weaknesses and shortcomings, that actually does the same thing with other people. And I've done this in ministry where I've had bosses and executive pastors and deacons and board members and church members, the whole spectrum here, where I would seek to please them over Jesus. But then God gave me this verse, and it really freed me from the pressure of pleasing people and seeking validation outside of the gospel of Jesus. This is Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. The Apostle Paul says, "Am I trying to win the approval of God or of man? Or am I trying to please people? If I try and please people, I will not be a servant of Christ." And if you want to know if you seek validation through other people and not Jesus, respond to this statement. What validates your life comes from the person whose opinion you care the most about. And if you care more about the opinion of God in your life than of man, then you have a gospel-centered validation source. Where do you seek validation? Where do you seek your worth? Let me plead with you today. Do not seek it in anything other than Jesus Christ. And when you're faced with a decision, and when you're faced with a relationship, and when you feel anger or bitterness or frustration or fatigue build up in your spirit, ask this question: Lord, how can I please you? God bless you today.